This is Chemistry Basics. Lesson 1 by Larry DeWitt. In studying chemistry, one of the first questions we should ask is, what is chemistry? Chemistry is often defined as the branch of science that studies matter. That's a pretty vague definition, so let's see if we can define chemistry in a more concrete and relative way. If chemistry is the study of matter, then we have to ask, what is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. That's everything, isn't it? Is there anything that doesn't have mass or take up space? Even air we breathe has mass and takes up space. We can see that by just blowing up a balloon. So does everything have mass and take up space? Actually, yes. All living things are made up of matter. From large living things like humans and elephants and whales and even giant redwood trees. All small living things are also made up of matter, like insects and bugs. All non-living things are also made up of matter. The mountains and oceans, the atmosphere and clouds, the ground we walk on, and the sand on the beach. It is all made up of matter. The entire Earth is made up of matter. It has a lot of mass, and it takes up a lot of space. The entire universe is made up of matter. All of the planets, stars, and everything else in the universe is all made up of matter. Now that we have a better understanding of what matter is, this brings us back to our original question. What is chemistry? Chemistry can be defined as the branch of science that deals with the identification of the substances of which matter is composed, the investigation of their properties, and the ways in which they interact, combine, and change, and the use of these processes to form new substances. Okay, there's a lot of information there, so what exactly does it mean? Let's break it down so we can better understand exactly what it's saying. The first part states that chemistry is the branch of science that deals with the identification of the substances of which matter is composed, which means chemistry is a branch of science that deals with identifying the ingredients that make up matter. The next part states the investigation of the properties, which means the investigation of certain properties such as mass, color, density, malleability, melting point, boiling point, and hardness. The next part states, and the ways in which they interact, combine, and change. Or, to investigate how matter responds when you have different types of matter and you mix them together under various conditions, such as heating them up. The last part states, and the use of these processes to form new substances. That means taking what was learned from identifying the substances of matter, identifying the various properties of matter, and identifying the changes that occur when mixing them, to then produce new products like cell phones, water bottles, and high-tech running shoes. Another example of a new product being produced naturally is the combining of sodium, a grade of soft metal, with chlorine, a greenish toxic gas, to produce what is called sodium chloride, or more commonly known as table salt, the salt we use to season our food with. So in reviewing, what is chemistry? Chemistry is a branch of science that deals with the identification of the substances of which matter is composed, the investigation of their properties, and the ways in which they interact, combine, and change, and the use of these processes to form new substances. Or simply put, chemistry is a science that identifies the substances that make up matter, investigates certain characteristics of matter, studies what happens when we mix them, and what new products can be formed as a result of mixing them. Chemistry is the study of matter, the stuff that everything in the universe is made up of. Well, that's a wrap.